My Steam key already.
It's just being laggy tonight. There it goes.
There it goes.
In another time. In another dimension. Bearded warriors. Trapped in an eternity of vapid space. Doomed to wander the galaxy. Broadcasting their nonsense to the void. This is StarCast.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, what's good, guys?
We made it.
No.
We made it. That was weird. Cyberwolf, do you know what that reference is? In another time, in another dimension. Do you know what movie that's from? Bonus points if you do. So, hey everybody, we have new digs all around us.
We do.
Like the Partridge Family now, or no, the Brady Bunch.
Oh no. Oh dear.
So yeah.
You mean these around us?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you just meant my house.
No, Trendane's got new digs. Sorry, I was looking at something.
Yay.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we did the we redid everything, or I did everything. Yeah, I did it all. So if you have anybody to blame, you blame me. If you notice in the upper right-hand corner, we have a new donations thing. So if anybody donates, it goes up there, and we get a little notification sound. And then we got a topic thing, and then if anybody follows or subscribes to the channel, we get a little notification down here. It's pretty unobtrusive. Little sound goes ping, and that's about it. And some laser pew-pews. So yeah, welcome everybody. Tonight we have Mr. Stakas,
Hey. Hello.
Mr. Perfekt Nerd,
Yo.
Mr. Trendane, Mr. Bod,
Hello.
and Mr. CoreofexisteNz.
Hello there.
Hello. So Bod's going to be our moderator extraordinaire tonight. So like he's put in chat, if you have any questions, put them in the brackets. Say question, and we will answer them as we get to them, if we can. This Paradox Moose is picking on our name. It's a good name. Oh, see, Cyberwolf happened to have 20 questions in his pocket already.
He's prepared.
He is. Here they comes the wall of text.
It is actually. Oh my God, Cyberwolf. Here we go.
We'll get them over early. Then he can relax and watch the show.
There is actually a StarCraft podcast named StarCast, but nobody watches that. So.
Nobody watches it, and there's a couple of different shows called StarCast. There's like a talent show in the Philippines, and there's a moose.
So yeah, that would take.
You never know when a moose might happen to show up.
What's his name?
Nair.
Nair.
Nair. N-E-apostrophe-E-R.
Nary a moose in sight.
As in, Nair do that again.
Mm.
It's actually his full name. You wanna piss off for a bit?
Picking our name in the least serious way. I know it's all right. All right, everybody. So we got some stuff to go over. We're going to be talking about a few things tonight, specifically the tent for the chairman. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the next great starship, and we also have something big announcement that we'll make in a little bit. We are going to be doing a giveaway, a massive giveaway. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. So why don't we get to our first topic of the night while you guys are bringing the questions in? The monthly update massive thing that they just posted.
Gargantuan.
Big wall of text.
It seems to me that they just basically took everything they wanted to say and threw it into one big-ass post.
Well, yes and no.
Yes and no? All right.
Yeah.
Well, like they said, it is a high-level thing. They're not going into the details of what they're doing. It's just kind of an overview of what each studio is doing to give us a better idea of what it is they're trying to accomplish within this month.
It's what we talked about a couple weeks ago. It's basically a summary of the tasks or their task lists for each of the different studios working on stuff, which is what we wanted, right? So got our wish.
We got our wish.
I love it. I think it's great. I read through it. Not to mention the fact that the some of the art that goes with it, like that hornet getting the living shit shot out of it, is very cool looking.
It is a really cool picture.
It's
very.
good.
I didn't prepare it. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But it is pretty tore up. Let's see. There's also Travis Day, the dogfighting producer, wrote up a whole big thing about the dogfighting module coming.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I think each of the people wrote stuff about what they're working on, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice little summaries.
Is anybody in the audience or any of you guys thinking of going to PAX East? I'm going. But anybody else?
I can't make it because I'd have to fly so far.
It is pretty far. If you guys in the audience are going, if there's anybody in the audience that's going to PAX East, let me know because we'll do like a little bit of a meetup while we're there. I'm a subscriber now, so I don't know if that's supposed to be able to get special early access into the announcement at PAX.
You got to get front row seats.
I don't think I get front row seats. Death Rises, you're going, right? I'm going to be doing a live stream from the floor with my cell phone. It's going to be fun.
There was I don't think it was this week's 10 from the chairman. It might have been last week's, but there was something I seem to remember. What are the two biggest subscriber backer things like Praetor and something else?
Yeah, I'm a predominator. I'm one of those guys.
Centurion and a Praetor.
Yep.
Yeah. Are there other levels?
No, yeah.
No.
Okay.
Not yet, anyway.
It's either 8 a month or 16 a month, or 10 or 20.
Okay. Just when he said that, when he said it's for the Praetor and Centurion level things, it made me think that there were other levels, and I was like, okay, now you're making an elitist group. But if that's not the case, then never mind.
No, it's just basically you want to pay $10 a month or do you want to pay $20 a month? That's it.
All the money.
The other day, Trendane, I have a question for you specifically. That before we get into this, the other day I was watching Wingman's Hangar. It ended. Then we went to the Wingman's Hangover.
Yep.
You were there chatting with him, and I couldn't figure out where the hell you were chatting with him at. And I went to the live stream thing, or the live... What's it called?
The Ustream.
Ustream, yeah, I went Ustream. Didn't see a chat room there. There was like a Facebook posty thingy.
Yeah.
How are you chatting with him?
You go to Robert Space Industries, and there's a thing that says chat.
Chat roll.
Or I think it's under community or forums or something.
I look everywhere.
It's the basic chat role on the Robert Space Industries
Oh,
site.
man.
Right, not the new one.
It's okay. It took me 3 times through Wingman's Hangar and Wingman's Hangover to figure that shit out, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, whenever they refer to their chat, that's the chat they refer to, none other.
Okay, I thought maybe it was some kind of secret subscriber chat, so I'm looking at all the subscriber area. I was like, I'm a subscriber and I can go to this chat.
That would be really stupid of them to do that.
I'm sure.
Yes, I agree.
But I thought that's what it was. I was like, oh, it must be only for subscribers to chat with Wingman afterwards.
No.
Nope.
But now you know.
But now we know. No,
Knowing
exactly
this is half the ravioli.
G.I. Joe.
God, I'm hungry now. I want ravioli. I want to just open a can of Chef Boyardee ravioli and just eat it cold. Not chew it, just swallow the ravioli. Just
It's good for you.
Yeah, right. Just, never mind. It's we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, back to the monthly update. Let's see what other things that we're going to show.
So, basically, I took a few notes.
Yep.
On sort of the outline of the things. A lot of it's fluff.
It did look that way.
A lot of it is a little fluffy.
Vapid.
A little vapid. A little vapid. I can appreciate that.
Yeah,
you know?
we appreciate
they
the
got
vapid.
nothing on us. They got nothing.
But really, out of Chris Roberts' update, only the last 2 paragraphs are relevant to us. Everything else is stuff.
I loved the Foundry 42 thing. I don't know if you're going to talk about that. I'm sorry interrupting.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm just out of Chris Roberts' personal whatever thing to start the update. Only the last 2 paragraphs are actually relevant. That's what I'm saying. So, it's the event at PAX East is apparently going to be citizens only. It's just prior to PAX East. I don't know. I'm actually a little confused about that because it depends on how far in advance of PAX East it's going to be. Because
I'm getting there Thursday, but that might not be early enough if it's going to be something special like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Because if most people are going to get there the day it starts, and
Right,
so.
Friday, yeah.
Is it going to be that day, just earlier in the day, or is it going to be the day before? In which case, people have kind of already bought plane tickets and stuff and set up hotels, months.
It's going to be the night before.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
if it's the night before, then who's going to show up? Is my question.
Don't know, but I would need to find that out ahead of time because I'll have to head out there a day early. Because that's the reason I'm going. I'm going for that and EverQuest.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, then yeah, you'll need to go a day early.
Yeah, if that's the case.
It's the 10th or the 9th, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the 10th.
10th.
There you go. WB says it's the day before, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that confirmed? Do you have anything that confirms that? Because
No.
From
He
what I can
doesn't give
see,
any
yeah.
dates.
Not
Lovely.
specifically. It's just an event, citizens-only event just prior to PAX East, and that's...
Yeah, I remember the 10th. Anyway, it's I don't remember from what, but I remember the date, the 10th for April. So
yeah. It'll be, if it's a day prior, then people are going to have to get there early. So warnings, if you're going to PAX East, get there early.
okay. Well, now I have to figure out to redo my plans. It's early enough. I mean, it's still a month away, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got to announce it officially soon so people can make their flight arrangements if they have to, if they want to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because once they've booked, having to change it for a day is not always easiest.
Makes me wonder if they're going to book out like a hotel near there or something for like a room at one of those.
yeah, the fact that they didn't announce it before PAX East sales went live is a little weird, but whatever. CIG kind of CIG kind of do their events half-assed anyway.
Well, I think it's more the fact that they didn't actually know when they were going to be able to show and release the dogfighting module until PAX East had already sold out for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure it's more along the lines of they just didn't have that info at that time.
We bought our tickets with I think within 10 minutes of them going live, and we got them just in time because about 10 minutes later they were all sold out for PAX East. SgtStakas, yeah, I'm going to PAX East. I'm going to be recording as much as I can. If my internet holds up while I'm there, I'm going to be streaming it live on this channel. So that'll be interesting. We'll see how that goes. I'm bringing a whole set of mics and everything, so should be able to get some good quality audio and video from the floor. We'll see. Never done it before. It's the first time I'm going to try to stream live from a floor of a convention center.
The internet's going to be ridiculously bad, though.
Well, you can pay for it. I think it's $100 for the weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm thinking about doing that. People have been
Still
donating.
going to be a ton of people.
Oh, yeah.
The pipeline's going to be stuffed.
It will, but there's a separate special pipe for if you want to pay the money.
Yeah, but if everyone pays the money, then that special pipeline gets dried up real quick.
I know.
$100. Most people aren't going to pay $100 for internet over the PAX East weekend.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Even if I went, I wouldn't pay that for.
Well, I'm paying it
$100
because that's the reason I'm there, and I have it's a cell phone, so it can use a cell signal too. It's a 4G phone, LTE, but that doesn't mean the cell's going to work there either. So I don't know. We'll try it. If it doesn't work, I'm bringing my other camera, my SLR, and we'll just do regular shoots. We'll try it.
Cyberwolf just posted it for PAX East, Wall of Honor and more. It says there April 10th, 8 p.m.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Is that bad?
Well,
So
I
you
was
can
going to be there on the 11th, so I got to go a day early now.
So, yeah, well, that's
Okay.
what you were talking about 15 minutes ago.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
So again, April 10th, if you want to go to this resident event, PAX East, you got to get there a day early.
You got to get there at 7 p.m. if you're a subscriber and 8 p.m. if you're not.
Yep, or earlier if you want to get in line.
So, become a subscriber, get your hotel and your airfare squared away, get the hell over there, get there early, and don't be a dick.
Yep.
Don't be a dick. Number one rule.
Public service announcement. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Don't be a dick. Will I be bringing back gifts for everyone? Yes. If they're giving out any kind of swag or anything, maybe they're going to give out little fish tank fish or something. I don't know. I'll bring some stuff back, and we'll give it away for a contest. That's definitely going to happen if I can get my hands on stuff. I'll see if I can meet up with like Wingman or something there and say, hey, Wingman, I do my show. Can I get some free stuff? See what they can do for us. I can't guarantee anything.
He'll just give you Mark Skelton's shirt.
We will get the gold shirt and auction it off.
Yes.
Just don't wash it first.
I won't. I won't even touch it.
That'll ruin it. Well, how are you going to transport it?
Be in the biohazard bag.
Big red biohazard bag.
You need the suit, the yellow suit.
Did you see?
They were talking about it on the show, wasn't it?
We're going to be talking about the next great starship, but they talked about the tag. So now we have lamp and now tag, because the tag was terrible on that shirt.
How long before they create an org called tag?
I know, right?
Gone. The tag is gone.
It did. The tag is dead. Long live the tag.
Yeah, now it's created its own organization now. See.
So yeah. Anyway, dogfighting module will launch.
What are you trying to do? Change our vapidity?
Kind of.
I'm trying. All right. I'm trying to be a little bit more on the ball this week.
Okay, I will shut up then, and you talk.
He's professionally.
He's got these notes, yo.
Okay, I will shut the hell up, and you go ahead and talk, because I'm just going to be talking about really strange shit out my ass. But if you have notes, go for it.
I'm very proud of my notes. So yeah, dogfighting module will launch shortly after PAX, which I'm gonna throw out a guess and say it will actually not launch on the evening of PAX. It'll actually probably launch like a week after.
That's what I'm thinking too. They're gonna let us play with it there, but maybe a day or two after it'll actually come out.
What's gonna happen is that they'll let you guys play with it at PAX East, and then you'll break it on the floor. And they'll just go home and be like, we have to fix everything. And then they'll do that and then release it.
Well, they were always going to release it after PAX. But, maybe they're confident enough to release it day one. But you don't know. We'll see how that goes. At the end of the day, I don't think anyone is really going, oh my god, it's the 11th. Where is it?
Yeah.
There will be people saying that, though.
There
will be.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
There will be much gnashing of teeth on the forums.
Oh, yeah.
So they're working on a few things right now in terms of the minor things. Variable damage states, HUD detailing, weapons, cameras, engine sounds, and a bunch of other stuff. Biggest blocker causing game development blue balls is the server backend.
Yep.
So this is what we expected it to be. They completely changed basically the plan for the server structure in the dogfighting module. Basically going for the actual sort of nascent form of the persistent universe backend. They're having to spend a lot more time working on it. So yeah, that if there's anything that delays it, it's going to be that. And yeah, so that's Chris Roberts' thing. So the next letter was one from Travis Day, the dogfighting producer, and it's the Santa Monica office update for all intents and purposes. So they're right now he's talking mostly about how they're organizing everybody, all the other different offices, and playing to their strengths and trying to get them to work on stuff that they need to. They're trying to figure out timeline for what needs to get done when, and it's this is mostly just fluff. And there's nothing really interesting in this update. There isn't. I read through the whole thing, and I'm like, it's mostly stuff we already know.
It's funny though you said that.
Are you talking about the entire update or just that?
No,
particular
this.
part of
I
the
think
update?
I think people who've been
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So for those of for anybody, I guess I should go through a little bit for people who haven't really been paying attention, which is fine. It's okay if you don't really pay attention because there's obviously a lot of random stuff that comes out, and it doesn't really get publicized all that well. But Santa Monica office is leading the charge on the dogfighting module. So right now, they say on the design side, they're balancing all the ship systems and their interactions with the HUD and the UI. They are working on bug fixing for the persistent damage and the vehicle damage stuff that we've seen a lot in videos and was showcased, first showcased a while ago, like last year, at the end of last year. And the physics people, physics programmer is working on the intelligent flight control system, which we also saw in, I think, the dogfighting update video live stream thing. And I think there was also an interview with him at some point, either on Wingman's Hangar or one of the engineering videos. I can't remember when. It wasn't on Wingman's Hangar. I think it was like, it was a video that was playing on Wingman's Hangar, possibly. I can't remember, but yeah. So that's Santa Monica. So nothing we didn't already know. And same with Austin, actually. It's just they're working on mostly the PBR stuff, and then a lot of the design work, since all the production team, for the most part, is in Austin. That means that basically they're working on the stuff that they can't really talk to us about right now because it's not finalized. It's all the design and pre-production stuff.
Core, you're being a good boy.
He's talking. I'm trying to be silent.
I know, you're just trying so hard.
He's like, he's such a good boy. He's like, I'm gonna put it up for the thing, and nobody's gonna yell at me for looking at.
What is okay? Wait a second. What's going on?
He's trying to be very quiet when he's opening this package that he's got, so it doesn't crackle and interrupt you.
I appreciate that, Core.
Nom noms.
Okay, so that's what was going on, because every once in a while, like Skype, it'll show who's making the noise. Thank you. And every once in a while, in the corner of my screen, I'd see Core just like staring at the. I'm like, what is he doing? I'm just trying to ignore him, which I will not commence doing.
Munch,
so yeah,
munch.
PBR, and they did one thing was interesting there. They said that they're working on their first full performance capture test shoot for Squadron 42.
Yeah.
Redoing the animations and fixes for the ship and the dogfighting module in the hangar, which is good because I always thought that the walking and running animations are so bad.
Yeah, he's sort of like really stiff-legged and everything when he runs.
Like,
yeah,
it's weird.
It's just a placeholder.
Yeah, I'm glad they're fixing that though and finally getting that done. But yeah, I kind of ignored that after a while. But in the beginning, it was really jarring because it's like right before that point they had released the update about released that video about how they do motion capture, and then I got into the game and saw the motion capture, and I'm like, how did you direct your actor to walk?
With a stick up his ass.
Yeah. So, anyway,
I thought the jumps were amazing, though.
Those jumps are terrible. It sort of like does this weird sideways kind of.
Doesn't everybody jump like that?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So anyway, there's a little video that from a couple of weeks ago that they put in this update as well. The redesigned Vandal Scythe with PBR.
That looked good.
Looks brilliant. Foundry 42 is basically building the game.
You pretty much.
So they're kind of. I feel like Foundry 42 is in charge of putting everything together, at least for the initial release.
There's a SgtStakas sighting. I'm on the air, woman.
Did you do that now?
There's 6 people watching.
5 of people just saw you. Sorry. Sorry. She has no idea.
No, it's okay. I don't care. It's funny.
So yeah, I feel like Squadron 42 is just they're the people who are gonna put it all together in the end. Like everybody's working, like Austin's working on design and production, and Santa Monica's working on stuff, server backend, I guess for the most part, and there's a lot of outsourced artwork and everything. But Aaron is gonna be the one who just takes everything and makes it into sort of a cohesive finished product. That's just the way I feel. That's the way it looks like.
He's not the perfectionist.
He's not. He's the guy who gets things done.
I did exactly the pictures that they showed in the mining setup that they were showing looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yes.
And all those big wires kind of holding the asteroid or whatever it is together.
Yep.
It's one of those things, a lot of these space games I've been playing or goofing around with lately, you see like the planets and they sort of explode out and they've got parts floating around. But the way at least the way I understand gravity in the universe is that shouldn't stay like that unless it's at a perfect, what's it called, the point of equilibrium where you can't go out any farther or go back.
Lagrange point.
The Lagrange point. That means that every single particle that comes off that planet is at the Lagrange point, which to me doesn't seem possible. All that stuff should start moving back together at some point and recolliding again. But it seems like there's these asteroids and planets that are blown up that float around like that. I don't know. Doesn't seem as realistic to me. But at least that's what they set up on the mining station. They got this big mine in like the core area, and it's got all these wires holding things around. So when you're doing your flying around out there, you're going to have to watch out for those wires.
Yes, well, I did state that a lot of in Squadron 42 that there will be an intense dogfight through those wires. That was one of the main points of those. Like Chris Roberts himself said, I can just wait for people to be dogfighting through those wires. And I'm like, spoilers.
Yep.
But yeah, so it's really, really cool.
Are the wires going to cut the ship in half, or are you going to cut the wire?
No, the size of those wires is ginormous. You will just literally smash into the side of them.
You will crash into it.
You won't get cut in half.
It's probably thicker than your ship.
Most definitely, I'd assume.
Probably.
If my Idris is not.
Oh,
won't be dogfighting with your Idris, however.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're dogfighting, you're doing it wrong.
You'll be lucky to get it in there. If I can just. If I can
that's what she said, Stakas. That's what she said.
Well, if I can just add to Perfekt's little snippet of info for the Manchester people they've been given the Gladiator and the Retaliator to actually finish off and get into engine. So if that says anything to me, that they may be very well the next few ships that we see in the hangar in the game. Because if we know anything from Aaron, that he likes to get stuff done. So it just sort of crossed. I saw that and I just said he specifically mentioned that they've now taken over the finishing touches of the Gladiator and the Retaliator are being done in Manchester. So it's a good chance that they'll probably be done soon before any of the others.
I really
They'll
think
probably
it
want
should
them
be
to at least continue Foundry 42. They need these ship models, But yeah, anyway.
They need to be honest, I think they need the constellation in game and the variants done. Like that I feel like that should really be the priority.
Well, dogfighting module's top, but I'm sure once that's stable and it's working, they're going to go back to working on the ships and everything like that.
But I thought the Connie was actually going to be in the first iteration of the dogfighting module.
Yeah, the Hornet.
I thought that they said that it's going to be single-seater ships and then also the Constellation. But that might have been a while ago and that they've changed that now. I don't know.
I think they changed it. I heard that it's pretty much just going to be Hornets at first for a while, then maybe 300 Eyes or something. But
Hornets and Vandals is what it's looking like.
Oh.
Okay.
It'd be fun if they let us fly the Vandal even if we don't own it, because it'd be just fun to say that I flew a Vandal.
I think it's actually part of the... Isn't that part of like the subscriber bonuses that you get? You get for every month of subscription, you get 24 hours of being able to fly the Vandal Scythe.
Yeah, that was right.
Interesting.
So you should
24 hours of, like, when? In Persistent Universe, or?
No, 24 hours in the dogfighting module.
Okay.
Oh.
Which I thought was interesting.
But 24 hours in-game, or 24 hours is in, it starts now and it ends tomorrow at 4 p.m.?
I don't think that was specified.
Bastards.
24 hours,
24 hours of game time is a long time.
Long-ass time.
24 hours of one day is not very much. You've got other shit to do.
No, shit to do if you lose connection or something.
I'm going to assume 24 hours of game time because, I mean, that would seem stupid otherwise.
Well.
But yeah, anyway, where are we at? So yeah, Manchester, finishing things up, getting things done. Let's see, BHVR in Montreal. They're working on some of the things that I'm personally like really excited about. The mobile glass, and maybe not so much, but avatar customization, economy system, and planet side. So these guys are doing some of the coolest stuff in the game, in my opinion, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of those three things interest me. The other two do not.
So yeah, because the economy system is going to be really fantastic. I hope, and they say that they have all the technology in place. They have a server that talks with the game client, and now start to build the control room. Where we'll be able to play with the variables of the economy. So that's good. Looks like they're making headway on that, and I think they're getting a lot of stuff done on basically the outline for the planet side. I mean, they say that they've starting to lay out some planets, right? So they've gotten one planet from the Stanton system done, but they're laying out the other planets and concepts for new solar systems. I'm assuming what that really means is that they are laying out sort of the pieces, like the structure of how to build out planets, and really, spending a lot of time planning the process of building out a planet-side location, because they have so many locations to build out. And once they actually get the process moving, it's going to go like a lot more rapidly. But yeah, for now, looks like they're just focusing on sort of the process end of things rather than, actually building stuff, which is good. Yeah. So, any thoughts on that stuff? Excited for planet-side stuff?
Yay, economy!
Economy.
Economy. I can't even say it wrong.
Money. Economy.
Economy.
There you go.
Very nice. All right. We ready to move on, or is that it?
There's a couple more things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a long update.
It's a freaking long ass update.
Oh yeah, I got popcorn. I can watch you all.
You got
Go
popcorn.
ahead.
I don't have any popcorn.
I got popcorn.
Did you bring enough for everyone?
Well, come over here and get some.
Sure, radio.
So,
All right,
CGBot.
Go ahead.
So CGBot, which, if you'll recall, they're from Monterrey, Mexico. If you'll recall, they're the people who made the initial art for the game, and they made the Bengal carrier. So very talented group of people, just a bunch of artists, really. So they are working on spacesuits for the Explorer class. It's interesting, and getting the Idris ready for Squadron 42. So these guys are big in sort of updating everything to PBR. And I'm sure that's probably what they spend most of their time working on. Sean Murphy is basically, he's the outsource manager, so there's he just says, we have a bunch of people working for us. And I'm like, okay, fine, good for you.
They get paid, we see results.
Exactly. The FPS team. So this is probably one of the most interesting parts of the update. So they've been actually working on the the first-person system is going to be in the game. Obviously, what's in the hangar now is completely a placeholder. It's literally, you're just basically a camera that walks around. And so what they're focusing on is basically building out the movement system to accommodate zero gravity. And they say, and star systems, intensely immersive animation-driven movement. And I don't know what that means. Does anybody have any idea what that means?
No.
No clues? Okay.
It's words forming together to sound pretty.
I know
That's
what
right.
the words mean, right? We know what immersive, animation-driven, and movement is. I don't know what they all mean together. So maybe a clarification on that might be nice, as to, because that could be really telling about the way that movements even work in a first-person perspective.
I'm still surprised. I'm still surprised the FPS component of Star Citizen isn't just Crisis, because it's futuristic. It's got suits. It's got guns. It works. It's got multiplayer. We could just use that as FPS. But no, I digress.
I want to make their own. Yeah, I hope because Crisis is fun.
Yeah.
I feel like they might as well just use. They have a bunch of Crytek people on the team.
They could rip out the power armor and just give those little guys guns and just mod the maps to look like spaceships, and voila, Star Citizen FPS.
There we go.
I think they probably. I mean, yeah, they should. I think that's probably the easy way of doing it. And I mean, I think they should definitely take some elements of Crysis, because I think it was a really fun multiplayer FPS, and it looked gorgeous and it played really well. So you should just there's no need to fix what isn't broke, right?
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Yeah. It was originally a first-person shooter with vehicles, so why bastardize the game or reinvent the wheel on that respect?
Exactly.
But yeah, anyway.
And it works in engine, so
yeah,
it's the biggest.
They want to improve on it. That's why.
So basically, they're working on the way bodies move in weightlessness, the ways eyes track the things we're looking at. So yeah, a bunch of really technical stuff. They say the art team has been hard at work building one of the many locations players will be able to visit in the game, an abandoned space station that has since been taken over by pirates. So that's exciting. And I'm betting that's going to be, when they release the module, that's going to be the test zone. Just saying. That's probably where we're going to test out all the FPS versus AI. And they'll probably have another map, maybe for a simple map just for PvP FPS gameplay, just to test it out. But yeah. So yeah, the build-out uses the tier system we've created to make rapid production of the game's massive locations possible without sacrificing visual quality. So yeah, that's their modular system, basically, where they build the pieces and they put the pieces together in a bunch of different configurations. And then it makes the thing, it makes the location. So that's nice. Yes. So I think that's pretty much it.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay, so there's art stuff, or whatever, who cares about that, and then web stuff, who cares about what they're doing. Just kidding, we love you guys, but yeah.
All done?
Yes.
If anyone wants to know any more details, they can always go to the website and read it.
Yeah.
Update.
God forbid.
That's all we want to talk.
I know, right? Oh my god.
God forbid people should freaking read.
Jesus.
Why read when you can just listen to Trendane's voice
I am
saying
not
everything on paper?
that. I am not narrating that.
You should do, Trendane, you should do every update and then try and mimic the voices of each of the different people.
No, because if I have to do Mark, it's just going to sound like a bong all the time.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like, sure.
Like,
Collar.
we're gonna draw some stuff, and there's gonna be spaceships.
Yeah.
Some of them everybody's going to hate.
All right, well, let's kick it back into gear here.
Got to turn every
That's
sentence
incredibly
into
boring.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. We covered it. We're good now.
Holy
done.
shit. We have to do that every month.
No.
No. Okay, we'll figure out a way to make it more compelling.
I don't
next
have
time
enough popcorn.
we will do it, but we will have naked girls,
I'm out. See ya.
and we'll have a naked boy and a naked
Use
girl.
my square for naked girl.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
You can have some naked furries.
Naked furries?
I've got 2 of them right over there.
They're just hanging up naked.
But
All right.
yeah, they're
So
up against the wall.
Chris Roberts had the 10 for the chairman, and he talked about architecture porn.
Oh.
Yes.
Them arches, baby. Ooh.
We didn't actually see anything.
Well, we saw some pictures on
Yeah,
paper that they were looking at.
Yeah, pictures in an old book.
And they use Wikipedia to figure out how to build the architecture in this game. Now, basically, what he was talking about, as far as the architecture goes, is when you go into a place where there's you go to like older countries like England or even Rome. You go around these places, and I'll use Rome as an example. Rome, thousands of years old, and it's got a lot of different architecture from way back till now. Like you'll see a modern house sitting next to something that's 1,000 years old. So that's what they were trying to do in this game. They didn't want where you go to a planet and every single building looks the same. They wanted some people to design one type of building, another person to design another type of building, so it has this sort of mishmash realism to it. So that's what they were talking about with the architecture porn. And they were showing lots of pictures of different types of buildings that they were using as inspiration for the buildings that they're going to put in the game. Phallic towers and vaginal arches. That's right, Arundel. That's how you do.
This is the one issue that I've had with it, is that there should be an overarching theme to it. I mean, if everything is just completely, self-designed buildings, then the problem with that is that no building will look even remotely like another. And then you'll just get like the most plain spectrum of 4 walls and a flat roof and a door, to the most extreme spectrum of a house that's turned on its side, with 17 walls sticking out on one end for no reason, and
lasers.
Yeah.
Sydney Opera House.
Mm-hmm.
I can see them actually taking the time to make sure that there's actually an overarching aesthetic, and that I think it'll be more like, it'll be less like Rome and more like there are areas of the city which are, considered old districts, and they have the entire area is built with a similar architecture.
That I get. But what I would not get is a Sydney Opera House next to a fucking Walgreens.
Yeah.
Sure.
They did state that there was going to be some consistency to the process. They said that, say, a particular part of a city was heavily dominated by a specific manufacturer or something like that. They said those buildings would reflect that influence. And so I understand what you're getting at. You just don't want that to then mold into something that's completely just not even resembling the same sort of aesthetic that should be represented. I understand
artistic freedom in design is one thing, but it needs to be moderated. If not, what you get is a hot dog next to a
steak.
No, they have stated that there is going to be some sort of common sense behind it, but they want it to look real. So, but I mean, if you go to some towns, you're going to find retardedly modern buildings next to a wooden shack. I mean, that's real. That happens.
Is the theme there wooden shacks or retardedly modern buildings? Because there will always be more than one of each type.
Oh no, true, very, very true. And I guess that depends on. Yeah, that depends on the city or the planet you're going to be on, whether or not it's one or the other.
Yeah,
so.
But that I'm fine with. It's just that, I don't want fucking culture column cosmopolitan to have a rich house on one planet, only to have 2 houses over be a completely different culture inspired house, and that even though it would also be rich. But anyway,
we can only hope and trust in SIG that they get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Chris Roberts has a very strong sense of aesthetic.
He's got a great art team too.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
a very strong sense of vision, so I'm pretty sure that, he'll give us something that is not going to be horrible looking and completely ridiculous and wild. Just to say.
We've covered in several of the galactic guides that certain, I think it was like Gojin City, I think is in, I can't remember where it is, but it's like it was mostly Japanese, folks who came from Japan. They went to this thing, and everything on the planet, or at least everything in that city, has very, very strong Japanese influences.
Yeah.
They have evolved over hundreds of years, but they retain that root element of the Japanese thing. Saisei, which they mentioned in 10 for the Chairman, where he was talking about it's very different. I mean, it's still Earth based, but it's Terra. So it's again it's a different thing. In Saisei, everything is very organic. Everything has been balanced to move with the planet, with nature, rather than square, very rigid buildings and everything. Everything's very organic in its design. So some planets will have it and some planets will not. I think it'll depend on the bylaws that came up as the planet was evolving.
Again, that's fine. It's just, one of my tiny little worries.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah, that's what you get when you hear procedural generation and planets in the same sentence.
Mm-hmm.
And then, them talking about diversity as well. Like what I see in my head is that every procedurally generated planet will have like a loose theme to it. And then every building they could possibly squish into one city, making it look like this fucking color mismatch, I guess. But yeah, anyway. That's that.
All right, moving on. All right, next topic is the next great starship.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
This one was kind of rough.
It was kind of rough.
A little bit rough.
Just a smidge.
Basically, they went. How many did they show? 10 or less?
I thought it was like 6.
Maybe 6. Yeah, it wasn't quite 10. And
6 teams.
6 teams. Some of them pretty nice, but there was a team, and I don't remember their name. Forgive me. That basically just took a piece of paper and a pencil and drew their concept on notebook paper.
I believe that was Team Catapult because they were the ones that were unanimously just dumped the minute they had a vote. They were gone.
There was a rant. That rant lasted. There was a rant by Chris Roberts that lasted maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes on them. It was kind of uncomfortable. Like, wow, okay.
Yeah,
well,
you can see he's a boss. You can see him acting like a boss at that point.
That's kind of the point, because who's the guy sitting direct? Not Chris.
Mark.
The guy who's next. No, not the guy who's next to Chris Roberts. The guy's on the other couch closest to Sandy.
Chris.
Chris Olivia.
Is that Chris?
Yeah, there's like 4 Chris's over there.
There's 3 Chris's.
There's like 3 people. 8 of them are Chris. Okay. Anyway, whoever it is that's closest to Sandy on the other side. He was saying, "Come on, it's all in fun." And I was like, "No, it's not." That was the first thought that went through my head. This is not. This is business, is what this is.
Mm-hmm.
It's presented like fun. Yeah,
there's a prize on the line.
And this is going in the game, and this game is his business. He has every right to be that pissed off about it. And his statement of, there were other teams who were like 25th or 26th on the list who didn't quite make it.
Right on the cusp.
Then you pull this kind of shit. I mean, if I were these other teams, I would be like, you kick them out right now and you give the next 5, their chance to come in, or whoever the 25th was. I was thinking
that they should actually do that, because it's not. It's because there are people like, and there were teams. I think there was a team in Imperium who were just like, they almost made it, but they didn't quite make it. And it's just like, it's so frustrating to see that. But yeah. He definitely had every right to be pissed. I would have been completely pissed. I'm surprised he didn't curse. I was like, I was expecting some swear.
He may have. There
were a few very tight edits in there.
Yeah, that could have been.
Smoman says, I think the guy that got burnt for only submitting drawings thought he was only supposed to send in sketches and didn't think he was allowed to do any 3D designs. Do you think that it was a miscommunication there?
No, because it said we needed in-game. That's what was communicated. One of the requirements was that you needed to have your concept working in-game.
Well, no, not this part.
Oh, right. Sorry, that was the ship.
The fact that every other team managed more than a sketch on a bit of A4 foolscap paper, sort of says to me that they just didn't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they didn't know what concepting was so much. Like, they didn't really understand what that meant to concept out some artwork. They're just like, well, we're just going to get some ideas, and then once we actually start building it out,
Chris Roberts actually stuck up for him a little bit. He said maybe they're only good at doing stuff in the 3D modeling program, and they don't know how to draw. What's that? Oh, was somebody else who said that? Oh,
there was another guy who did only all of his concepting in 3D. They should just done that.
Exactly, he did it that way. Yeah,
that's right.
Another thing
they did. Yeah,
that was Team Amoeba, I think that was.
1-bit or 8-bit Amoeba.
8-bit Amoeba. Yeah.
No, Stakas, you were going to say something.
Yeah.
I was only going to say that that they mentioned that particular team when they did the gun. The only thing they submitted was in engine and 3D stuff. Like, there was absolutely no concept art whatsoever for the thing. So it's very possible that the guy just hasn't got a clue at a concept.
The thing that I was going to... Oh, I just lost it.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I had it up until that point. It wasn't yet.
It'll come back.
Hopefully.
People are saying in chat while you're thinking, Trendane, that the Team Cocktail Napkin later released a statement about lack of time to do take the project seriously. They had some real life issues, work commitments. I don't know.
Yeah, sounds like an excuse. But I suppose one thing we will see is it did say the teams that are not making it, they're going to have a second pass for when they come back for the community vote, right? So I wonder what they'll do next time around. How much they're going to extra work they'll put into it, or whether they've given up now.
They probably give up.
It'll be interesting to see if they do try now.
I don't think anyone would vote for them, though.
Unless it's a stellar design.
Yeah, it would have to be stunning.
They'd have to come up with a fully animated, complete ship for anyone to even...
Here's our concept. We actually built one.
Yeah.
Full scale that flies.
We're going to fly into space right now.
Chris Roberts,
jump in. We're going to take you for a trip.
Yeah, but I mean, if again, some people are saying they had time management issues or they had real life commitments. If you have time management issues and don't get into a competition that's going to take, this, because people work on projects like this full time. You know, this is people's jobs. They work on this stuff full time. If you don't have the time commitment to, get into it, then don't do it.
Yeah, but some people have actual jobs. I mean, I'm not saying that being a designer or a modeler is not an actual job, but some jobs require you, to still be busy and actively engaged from a 9-to-5 capacity. And when you're trying to break out of that rut into, the animator or concept artist, kind of thing, because you do have those skill sets, then it can be really difficult to find the time to manage that. But I mean, I'm seeing that now because I'm trying to become eventually down the line sometime become a full-time screamer, and I'm still working in a 9-to-5 capacity, and that balancing act. What
you said? Screamer. Yeah.
Oh, screamer. Oh.
I was like, yeah.
Professional.
I apologize.
Screamer extraordinaire.
Yes, professional screamer extraordinaire. But yeah, no, trying to find the time to, to do it and maintain the ability to still, actually do it with a lot of vigor is not the easiest thing in the world when you've got 2 jobs.
Yeah,
but you do it. You make the effort and you do it. That's the thing is you if you want it that bad,
you find the time.
You find the time. You make the effort. These guys just didn't,
chucked it in, man.
No, but I'm just saying it's still a gargantuan task to make the switch to be able to do it, and some people think they can and just don't have it. Yeah. And that is what I was getting at. I wasn't saying that I wasn't trying to justify what they did. I was just saying that some people just don't have what it takes to be able to do that.
Yeah, I remembered what it was. Yeah. I remembered what my point was. Yeah. Was one of the things that Chris Olivier said was they had the 3D mock-up there that he then sketched over, and he said if he'd have just used a ruler to make some of those lines a little more straight here, and then I was like, yes, exactly fine, but just it just it was very, I think it was Mark who said later, it was beautiful. I loved it. It was perfect for a second grader.
He was beating him up. Yeah.
Oh.
Burn, baby. Feel the love from the gold shirt.
I was going to say, that's pretty harsh coming from a man wearing an intergalactic potato sack, so...
Yes, sexy.
Yeah.
All right, what else did they talk about on the show? Because I guess that was pretty epic.
But
So-
to be honest,
Yeah.
I didn't actually... Most of the concepts I wasn't really...
The last one was pretty good. I like the marine landing
Really?
ship.
With the swept down nose.
Yeah,
I think it was kind of boring.
it was kind of boring, but at least it had some style to it. At least it looked something I
It
could
was well
fly.
done. I
Yeah.
think it was very well done. I just think it just felt kind of boring to me. Like I didn't want to see just a fighter. You know, when I think gunship, I just want to scream guns.
Guns like an A-10 Warthog, like a fucking gun that takes up 3/4 of the plane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a gun that's surrounded by a ship. Like that's what I want.
A big rail gun, Gauss cannon.
I did like the second one, which had kind of the forward wings that they were always talking about, had like the big gorilla arm. I kind of liked that one. It conveyed a sense of power. The first one, which had the double wings that were pointing back and forth.
Yeah.
They kept talking about how they didn't look like it was two planes that were trying to fly in different directions. I had mentioned when they were doing the guns with one of the ones that I'd seen that they had the blue glowing bars on the top and bottom, and it said, "This is the bounding box I want to target my weapons on." That's exactly what I was feeling with the ship. It's like, here's where you aim and blow the thing in half. You know, I mean, it's like, so many of the things that it just looked like this is your target right here.
The blockout actually looked a lot.
Yes.
The blockout without any textures on it looked a lot better than the actual concepting. Because for one thing, it's just too busy. Like especially when I saw just the silhouette side profile, right, where had all the detail on it. I'm just like, what am I looking at? It just looks like a hunk of metal with bits on it, So it just wasn't. I just think that it was too visually busy, and it needed to be sort of toned back a bit in general. But I kind of like the blockout itself. I thought the first one, like in terms of like the uniqueness of the concept and what I think of when I think gunship, like that's probably the closest thing to what I saw, what I wanted.
I'm hoping that this episode was more of these are the low end of the low end ones, and then they're going to show us some amazing like brain melting ones coming up.
I think they just do random ones. Like they I think that if they pick like low end and high end, then they're kind of throwing. I think they're doing it a little bit wrong. But if they're just doing it random, and these just happen to be 6 crappy randoms, okay, that's fine.
Now, one of the other criteria was that the ship had to seem similar, had to carry over some of the motif of the existing corporations.
Yes.
Were there any that had that feel to you?
The last one was like it felt like a military ship. It was supposed to be a UEE ship, right?
Yeah.
So it felt that one did.
Corporations wise, it didn't. Yeah. Like, what did it feel like in terms of like? Maybe.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Maybe Origin a little bit.
Yeah.
But
RSI.
like in terms of the aesthetic. Or RSI. I bet I'm thinking Origin because Origin ships are kind of got that sleek, plane-esque look to them.
The last one did sort of look like an Avenger.
But yeah, that's the thing. I want a gunship to look different from like a normal fighter craft. I want it to just be super aggressive, but also the emphasis should be on the guns. Not necessarily the ship itself. Like the ship. I feel like gunships are kind of like, I don't know, almost glass cannon-ish in some sense. Like they're meant to sort of, move really quickly and, be able to deal lots of damage but not really take a lot of punishment. The B-Wing-esque design from Team Cryo.
Yeah.
Really freaking cool.
Oh, you like that one?
I love that one.
I couldn't stand it. You're talking about the Paladin shield and sword one, right?
Yeah, exactly. The second concept.
Oh, the second one of that one. Yeah, the first one, it looked like it could just break it off if you just ran into ammo.
That was, again, my, here's my target, right here. Just aim right at the base of that cannon and just blow it off.
Yeah. You don't even need to aim that good.
Yeah, my issue with that one is it looked very... It wasn't a bad design. It looked like it belonged in something like Warhammer or something. It didn't look like it actually fit the universe. From the ship's designs that I'd seen so far, it looked a little bit out of place. It was a great design. It was unique. It was like, I thought, what the heck is that? It also looked a little fragile for my mind as well. Like even in the second concept he had, there were the two main things. I said, first of all, it looked like you could just snap the wing off and the thing would just spiral into a nosedive. And the other one was that it looked like belonged in like a Warhammer universe rather than out in space, to me personally.
Yeah, I didn't like it much.
I think, yeah, I mean, I can see what you mean, but I think the reason I think the presentation also has a problem in that sense, because he gave that backstory, which is really cool.
I like the backstory.
And it did sort of look like everything was sort of patched together, and you know,
what about those bolts? In the scale, those bolts would have been like this big around the head of them.
I think that's what gave me the Warhammer feel, because it looked like a little miniature.
It looked like a miniature.
The scale was out. I mean, the patch together thing and the lore that he gave behind it kind of fits, but does that specifically fit in the aesthetic of what they're trying to create?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. With the new, like, I can see what he's going for, but I feel like, you know, the ship itself should be, like, if you want to actually display what the ship is, like, and you want to model it out and stuff, make it clean first, right? Build the base clean ship, and then you can work on damage states and like aging it and all sorts of other stuff. But for the competition itself and putting the ship in the game, it's important that the base model be clean. So, I mean, it's interesting the way he's concepting it out, but I think he needs to sort of take a step back and scrub everything down a little bit.
The sword and shield thing was very interesting to me. However, it made it seem like there was a point where they were talking about, you know, if you're taking damage, turning your ship so that the shield is pointing towards whatever's attacking you. And I'm like, that's all very well and good, but then you have to expose yourself in order to attack. You know, if you're strictly functioning, and what are the thrusters designed to work that way, so that you can keep, you know, the shield pointed towards, you know, whoever's attacking you and still thrust effectively, or maneuver effectively, I should say. I didn't get that with the way the thrusters were set up on it. So
I always thought one interesting concept that I sort of thought up in my head after I saw that was, what if you had the shield detached? Like, the shield was a part of the ship, but it was sort of it was detached, and there was like some sort of field like generated that kept it in place, and it could like maneuver anywhere around the ship. So it would act as like sort of a second shield, where it's like, this is a physical shield. So if you're so there'd be a compartment on the ship that would literally break off and sort of generate a field, and that bit that came off would actually be the shield, and it would just sort of fly around the ship and be able to take damage.
I mean, that's a cool idea, but what part of the universe would that sort of fit into, as lore-wise? It's a cool concept. It seems, but when the minute you say that, I think to myself, okay, well, who would manufacture that? What technology would they use to utilize
it's not really
that?
human. I don't feel like it's a particularly human sort of idea. You know what I'm
Ranger XML says we're doing great this week. We went over an hour so far. We haven't even touched Q&A.
See, it's not up to us. It's up to CIG.
Yes, exactly.
That's right.
And the alien race that created that particular ship is called the Splunge.
Oh, the Splunge. Who shoots orcs.
It sounds like a B-movie alien race.
It is definitely a B-movie.
They look like little Jello jigglers. Like, if you ever made dinosaur Jello jigglers and you put ground up grapes inside of them, that's basically what they look like.
That sounds deadly.
And then they filmed them on a tray, and then they cut to shots of people running away screaming.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get into the Q&A, there's a couple of things I wanted to go over. First off, if it's your first time watching the show and you're not turned off by our total vapidity, hit the follow button, because it actually directly relates to our next thing I want to talk about. Mr. SgtStakas, you'll notice, is our top donator up there in the upper right-hand corner. And what he has done is purchased a 300i package and 3 Aurora packages. We're going to be giving these away next Tuesday on our next show. And Stakas, what was the breakdown? Did you want to do 2 for subscribers and 2 for followers, or how did you want to do it?
Well, seeing as our subscribers are really, really loyal, I thought we were going to do 3 to subscribers and 1 to followers. But if
no, that's fine.
Is that cool?
It's your gift.
4 giveaways in one show?
Yeah, we're gonna do 4 giveaways in one show.
See,
What?
I mean, how many subscribers are currently watching from the 65 that we have, for instance? You can do an accurate count from that.
Maybe
I was
do
thinking
2
stretch it out one a week for a month.
One a week for a month?
How long until PAX? How long until PAX?
A month.
A month.
1 a week.
All right, we'll do 1 a week a month. Okay.
Leading up to PAX, and the last one just before PAX.
So next week will be for followers and subscribers? To start it off?
Or we should do the week before PAX. We should do followers and subscribers. I think we should do just subscribers.
Yeah, or you could do it half and half. You know, it's up to you.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you could do 1 for followers next week to get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
And another one before PAX. But
yep. That
sure.
We'll work out the combination.
Yeah, work out the combination.
We'll do one at least one.
We're definitely giving one away
PAX.
next week, so we know that's for sure. So, if you'd like to be entered into the contest, at least you have to follow. So if you hit the follow button, you can get started, and you'll be notified when we go live. And we do Star Citizen every Tuesday night. So
I hit the follow button. Am I eligible?
No, you're a subscriber, so you're following twice. So yeah,
but it'll pay to follow now, even if next week or the week after, in the next fortnight, one of those will be to at least follow. Within the next fortnight, at least one of those will be.
Malefic Gamer. Malefic Gamer just subscribed.
About time, Mal. Jesus.
Thanks, Mal.
So basically, what this all boils down to is you need to go get all your friends to come over here and have them follow and subscribe and tell them, hey, I want this damn ship. So if you win it, you give it to me. And that's how it works.
And depending on what I can get at PAX, we'll get some goodies away in the next one too. And at some point, I'm thinking about doing a large giveaway like Starfare or something like that later on. So we'll get there.
I thought about that.
Aerospace ping pong ball. What? Sorry. What?
I did think about that. I thought, should I get a bunch of small ships in packs so that people can just get into the game and get excited about it and have the pack so they've got the alpha and they've got the beta and a ship and a hangar to walk around? Or do I just get one big ship because this total amount was close to a constellation, and I was thinking, do I just get a big constellation and make it one big ship? But I thought, no, the more people the better, and if they want to then invest their own money and buy bigger ships, then they can do that. But the more people the merrier. Everyone.
Let's just give away Kors Idris.
Yeah, we're giving away Kors Idris. He's given us permission to give that away.
Hey, guys, if I could, but I
would.
You can't.
It's already used.
No, it's this channel here, guys. If you're not subscribed, but if you're following, just follow this channel here.
Grim asks, can I subscribe and follow? You can do all 3.
Yeah, Rage X and all that's probably coming later because now we're doing the stuff with Mr. Stakas. So I haven't forgot about it. We're just we're gonna probably postpone that for a little while. All right.
I just remembered something. Speaking of Idris's, that we missed a little bit earlier.
Oh no.
It was a mention. I can't remember where. I think it was on 10 for the Chairman of the
crew.
What ships were gonna come out first.
Oh.
And he said, or what ships were going to come out before the Persistent Universe. He said that they're working about 50 ships right now, and that definitely the Origin jump, the 690, 890,
You're talking about the question from 10 for the Chairman about which ships had been made available to purchase in the store before.
That's the one.
I actually wrote all of them down so I can answer that. It's the hey.
Welcome to the tribe, Gratchimp.
It's the Origin 890, and he said out of all of them, that was the most likely to be a single ship package available. He said maybe the Anvil Carrack, the Miss Cull Sea, the Aegis Surveyor, RSI Orion, and the Drake Herald. They are all They're all ones that they plan and hope to have as single ship packages available before then.
He didn't say surveyor. He said survivor.
Oh,
Did he really say
Yes,
survivor?
He did.
Oh, right.
I was writing something. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, see, I just wrote surveyor because I know that's what it is, and then I'm like, hey, I didn't even pick up on it, so good on you.
So yeah, look forward to the 890 being the first up out of those.
He said that was the most definite that was going to be available, so they're obviously really close to releasing that one. But he said the others, those were a very definite maybe, redacted sort of deal.
redacted. Yeah. Trendane's wearing his space trucker hat tonight. Yes,
It's not a trucker hat.
it looks like a space trucker hat.
It's not a space. Because it's red, white, and blue. You think it's Merc or something? No,
American hat.
it's the Stockton Ports, which was a baseball team I used to mascot for. The skipper of the wharf rat.
Yes. All right, are we ready to get started with our Q&A time? Q&A time.
Maybe.
Q&A time.
We got 45 minutes, so
Okay.
All right, so speed round. If you guys would like to have us answer questions and just completely shoot off the cuff, throw them at us. All you do is write question in brackets, and Mr. Bod will snag them up and throw them into our chat. All right.
Yeah.
Let me go through these questions here.
we don't have that many. I don't
There's
think.
not that many.
Well, we got 27 from Cyberwolf. Oh! Bayou Knight.
Yay!
Welcome to the tribe, Bayou Knight.
All
Thank
the
you.
Imperiums are all the imps are coming together and throwing money at you, Geekdomo.
Oh, wait, I just
stuff.
got a donation now, too. Hold on.
We got Grass, we got Bionite, we got Malpic.
Holy crap. From Lethal Gamer, $50 for a donation to help out for getting me to PAX East.
Ah, PAX
Nice.
Fund. Woo, good on him.
Oh, thank you
Yes.
so much,
Well,
Lethal
them.
Gamer. That is awesome. Thank you, guys.
The sub hype
Gonna make me
is
cry.
real. It's real.
Yeah, I'm going to cry. All right. Okay, let's go on to our first question here.
You go ahead and cry. Somebody else read the.
No, I got it. What is ArcCorp? It seems to be in the Stanton system. This is from Cyberwolf. I guess Trendane might know.
What?
What is ArcCorp? It seems to be in the Stanton system.
They build fusion engines for industrial craft. They
All
also have divisions for terraforming and mining.
Harris has it.
They're
Say-
headquartered in the Stanton system. That's why they're mentioned as part of the February update. They're working on when they say they're working on ArcCorp stuff in that update, that means they're working on the planet ArcCorp. Because they actually named the entire planet after their corporation.
I was going to say, because that was not in the Galactic Guide. Ah!
Fair enough. Okay, next one. In this week, month in review, in the Turbulent post, I noticed they said, we are working on a room system for your hangar. This will allow you to add rooms to your hangar like a fridge.
Fridge. A beer fridge.
Great.
A big
Great,
fridge. A firing
Fridge.
range. This sounds like you'll be purchasing additional rooms for your hangar. You won't just get them by default. Thoughts?
And a hot tub.
I don't know. You're probably just paying for the aesthetic. I mean, we're not really talking about. I mean, even if you can't interact with some of the editors of the rooms, it's more for you have money and you want to spend it on something that looks nice. That's all it really is.
You want to entertain some...
It's like the fucking
Special
fish
people.
tank.
Dude, I streamed Fish Tank for 6 hours this weekend.
I know.
Watch that.
It was
Half
epic.
of us were there.
Yeah. You can sit there listening to the guitar, just like jamming away.
Maybe you might.
I did that.
Maybe you
one
might
once.
get one room.
I did that 4 months ago with Epic Sax guy just playing away for like 10
Nice.
hours.
That's awesome. That's the props for that Epic Sax guy. That's great. So was it just the loop of Epic Sax guy, not even the whole song?
Not the whole song. Just
That's pretty.
I just grabbed the 10-hour loop version from YouTube, played that, and
You should have had him down in the camera corner playing. That would have been great.
But on the subject of music, there was also one thing we didn't mention was the unofficial soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Go check it out, guys.
Very
It's
cool
awesome
stuff. Very good stuff.
Yep.
Okay, next question.
Yes.
Sorry. I was just going to... Question, who do you think the team working on the FPS module could be, and why are their names redacted in this month's report? What gives?
It's probably just the Crisis team.
You think that they're... Well, they've been picking on... All the other teams are picking on each other.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's just the Crisis team, and I don't think they really care that much. But the fact that if it were to say Crisis, then it would automatically be associated with the Crisis team. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's because there's so many. There's actually it's just Crytek who's working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That they can't act. There's some NDA in place that they can't actually say that they're working on it.
Makes sense. EA Dice says Ranger XML. Yeah, right. I think EA
the guy's doing Titanfall.
Yeah, although Titanfall is pretty epic.
It is.
It is.
It's fun.
The graphics in that game are pretty tight.
For
and
now.
even if we don't have...
For now. Trendane says they're going to just patch it out of existence. All right, question from Yigburgard. Can you read that there, Core? It looks like it's in a language I can't speak.
How late is it there?
No, the name. Yigbug.
Oh,
It says JVD Bogard.
Yeah, JVD. It's his first name starts with a J.
Yep.
VD is not venereal disease, but
Van
it's
Duel.
Van the, of the, and then Bogard.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's not.
How late is it here? It is 8:20 p.m. here. How about you, Trendane? What time is it there?
It's 5:20.
5:20. It's always 5:20 somewhere. Harris.
It's true. It's 7:20 here.
Stakas.
11:20 a.m.
Mr. Bod.
in the future.
1.
In the core.
20 past 2.
20 past 2. There we go. We are a global cast. We are literally all around the world.
It takes the village.
It takes something. All right. Next question from Cyberwolf. Question: no remote repair according to Chris Roberts in the 10 for chairman. What are our thoughts? Good or bad thing?
Well, okay. With regard to his response when he first read the thing, when he said, "I don't think that this was his native language," I was like, "No, it's a perfectly legitimate question. It's just, holy shit, does this guy play Eve?"
Yeah.
You know, it's what that was. It's
Oh,
like,
really? I missed that. I didn't even catch
out
that.
of Eve. And I completely agree with Chris. There is no justification for being able to extend your shield around another ship unless it is so close to you that you practically should be grappled together anyway. And even extending it that far, it'll be so attenuated it won't be worth shit.
Right. Unless you build an entire ship who is built
Whose job it is in life
to
do
shield
that.
like a mothership from StarCraft.
It's a big huggy ship. It comes around, puts big arms around you, and hugs you. Yes.
So unless they build a ship that's designed specifically for shielding other ships and repairing them, then no.
And it'll be called an Audress.
Oh. And it looks like a pedo bear.
Giant space.
Still, I wonder if the shields actually stop ships, because that's something they still haven't confirmed on, is whether shields will actually stop another ship.
You mean like ramming into you?
I would assume
because even if you extend your shield across two ships, like you build a ship specifically for extending shields, right? And you have have these two little ships enveloped in your cone. What if something just flies into the shield and just starts shooting it from within? Then you have no shield.
Well, I think the shield would break anyway, right? Because physical objects are stopped by the shield. We know this because shields will be able to stop bullets.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but will it stop ships?
But I mean, I think what will happen is that you crash into the shield, and the shield can't take that kind of pressure, and it's just going to break. And then
on that side, because he also mentioned that you would have directional.
Yeah.
Right.
Rammer framers.
Port
there'll be
side.
There'll be a transfer of momentum, right? And since there's no friction, it'll be perfectly elastic. I think. Perfectly elastic collision, and it'll just go like this. So you'll stop, and then this guy will keep going.
I think they're coming from the Star Trek thing. What was it? Enterprise or something where they flew upside down, and the two ships could share the shields and the warp. I forget.
But I mean, let's not forget the Scythe, which has got the vibroblade, which is designed specifically for So I don't know whether or not the vibroblade then sort of doesn't count the shield because of what it is, or whether or not that counts as a physical item penetrating a shield.
Here's the question I've got. The vibroblade, it would have to be vibrating at such a frequency for you to be able to slice through another ship. It just doesn't make any sense to me. That arm thing, the Vandal scythe being able to cut off.
I think they specified that it was for when the ship is done, and it's for disassembling it, not for combat.
Fair enough.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
I'm thinking full-on speed crashing into something, trying to chop it off.
All it does is ram into people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Rams them.
I just imagine a whole pile of them cutting open an Idris like a can opener. Sorry, Core.
No, that's absolutely fine. I was about to say, I don't see how like you could use them as lawn darts. Like, for instance, you could just throw them and stick them into an Idris. But I don't think you can actually start at the front and just start cutting your way through an Idris, because about, 3 or 4 meters in, the fucking titanium is just going to say, no, fuck you, and you're going to get stuck. And you're going to be stuck there in the side of my Idris.
Unless you're bigger. Like, was it the Vandal gunship had that big, like blade-looking thing at the front of battering ram?
Mm-hmm.
Bit like that. That'll cut through your Idris. That thing's huge.
I think it's a Vandal motif, really.
Yeah.
Just like
From what I've seen, my Idris is built kind of like a battering ram as well, if you look at it from the top down.
It makes sense that Vandal ships would be built like that, because since they tend to function in tribes instead of like an entire fleet. The smaller groups, they have to have some way of harvesting or salvaging from the stuff. So every ship is going to have some method of cutting up and cannibalizing something.
And for those of you in the chat that are now going, oh my god, if shields don't stop ships, then it'll be Demolition Derby. I don't think it'll be that bad, because what you have to remember in Star Citizen, if you lose your ship or you die, that's pretty much you out of that battle. Like, for the foreseeable future, because you're going to go back to your base, you're going to have to grab another ship, you're going to have to fly all the way back, and it's just an arduous job. So losing your ship and sacrificing it because you're throwing it away, either it's a legitimate strategy where you have 100 recruits flying in front of you, just hitting the enemy with fucking auroras, or, and you swoop in later.
That would be an epic battle. I want to see that.
But in the ideal situation, or in the situation where it's just you versus another guy, you ram your two ships at each other. Neither of you are really going to get the loot, because someone else is just going to go, oh, look at all this pretty loot.
It's a giant MMM ball from Star Citizen, just a swarm of auroras, like a hive of bees.
If it can be done, and if it's exploitable as a legitimate strategy, I do believe that there will be corporations that will be using such tactics.
Yeah.
Man, Twitch is just crapping out tonight, man. Holy crap. I'm watching my stream quality, and it's just flashing red, yellow, green, red, yellow, green, red, yellow, green.
That's because it's Rastafarian.
It is.
Also, the stream
it's
is
420.
very pixelated from like a viewer's perspective. Like, it's just not top quality at the moment.
No, I don't know what's going on with
Seems
it. I
fine to
apologize.
me.
Well, yeah, if you put it on source, it looks beautiful, but
It just switches between from the highest to lowest every so often. I know it's not my internet connection.
well, you're breaking up a little
mine's
bit.
on medium.
We're on a new got some beta bugs this week with our new setup, so
We'll get it worked out.
We'll
All
get
right.
there.
Next question.
question.
All right, gotta get moving here. If you have an Avenger pack and you got the business hanger, and you have the Cutlass package, you get both hangers.
No.
It
You
defaults
get,
to your-
if you have an Avenger pack and a Cutlass package, you have 2 characters, and those 2 separate characters that they're gonna get hangers based on what packages they have. So if you want to combine. If you want to combine ships, it'll be 1 hanger that you start with, and it'll be the highest one, whatever
All
that
right.
is.
Hold on a second. I think I'm going to stop the stream and fix this, turn down the quality, and then come back, because everyone's saying they can't watch it. It's become unwatchable.
Hell with them. We don't need them.
Don't need them. Hold on. Be right back, everybody.